All right, welcome back to Grimnasty TV as we explore the unknown into a plausible, logical, sensible understanding, and we discuss milestones and nuances of breaking out the pineal gland and establishing a relationship with our Creator into a super being status that we thought was a figment of our imaginations. All right, so what is happening to me right now? What has happened to us? Most people think that their skulls look like this. If you look at a skull hanging or a skeleton inside of like a school classroom, if you look at a globe in the classroom, you look at anything in a classroom, you're being lied to. You look at skeletons hanging in Halloween stores, you're being lied to because your skeleton is not clean like that. Your skeleton most likely looks like this, especially if you look at your teeth and you've got fluoride calcification on your teeth and you brush off your teeth so it doesn't build up. They tell you, oh, that's just plaque from cavities. When in reality, it's the food you're eating and they called it something else, but really it's just calcium buildup from all of this. And it's bursting at the seams so much that it's trapped inside and can't get out anywhere else. But you brush it off of your teeth and we think that our skeletons are clean, but it's not true. So the people that are sun gazers know what I'm talking about. This stuff comes out of your eyeballs, out of your sinuses, out of your throat, out of everything. And eventually when your skeleton feels more clean like this, you'll know it because your jaw will be loose, kind of like a transmission flush. When a transmission flushes from an old vehicle, that transmission is loose because it was so gunked up with so much crap that it was just going to be like falling apart, and now you got to get a new transmission. That's kind of like what it is. Everything feels loose, so whenever I drink water, I can feel it flow through everything, all in my cranial, everything. Like you just feel it flow through and through. So basically you're burning away a ton of calcification that's probably in a bunch of your brain. You probably got a bunch of that shit saturating in your brain in certain areas that have a magnetated, gravitating ability to absorb these chemicals. Because they're smart chemicals. They're not dumb chemicals. They're smart chemicals. It's not fluoride that you find in nature. You are drinking a chemical that's going specifically to your pineal gland, bro. Specifically to your meridians, your chi hands, and your fire feet. So this is a smart chemical. This isn't what we thought it was. So, and the calcification isn't what you thought. You might be looking at pineal gland where autopsy pictures where it shows you just a little tip was like fucked up and affected, and you think, it's not like that. Nah, it's like that. It's bad. So another good thing for all the newcomers, this is your way out of the matrix. This is the true way out. You open your spiritual center. They kept it calcified. They want you to not ejaculate because it drains this out of the brain. Why do you think the ejaculation is white? It's got a calcium base to it. All right. They don't want you to stare into the sun more than 30 minutes because they don't want you doing this stuff. All right. This is your real true way out. Don't listen to nothing you see on YouTube until you see this, and then compare it and see how they downplay and whitewash everything else, and then you'll say, oh, that's all bullshit. And then you'll see that this is some real shit because this is all coming from the light. This is coming from the source of where we're reaching. All right, so what happened to me yesterday? Amazing. I can't even begin to talk about what happened. This happened. All right, so we were calcified like this, and I was, or I guess me and my higher self. I say we now because when I broke this open, I felt the shards of this scratch up against it, and this flesh touched this flesh for the first time in my life inside of my head. And it felt like I touched my nipples for the first time as a baby. Like, oh, yeah, I got nipples. Like, it was weird. Like, I felt like the first time you touch yourself when you're a kid and you're like, oh, I have that, you know? Like, I felt it for the first time, the flesh, and it's like a slug now, like a fat slug, where it was trapped in an earthworm calcification. It burst open into a fat slug in the top of my head. And it's not even affecting my spinal cord because I was like, is this like a slip disc or something? Because it's kind of stiff. But when I turned, it didn't hurt. It just felt really fucking good. Like this is loose. Logically, and if you watch my Willy Wonka video, I was doing a bunch of those cat in the hat things. And I did so many of them, and I do so many side turns, and it cracked so much that this broke open. And for about 2 hours, I'm like this. For like about an hour, dude. I'm just, oh shit, oh my gosh. Like my senses were just like fucking crazy. Now I'm used to it. So I just got to go to another level. So that's the good thing about it, is you never really get too used to it before you can excel to another level of this. So it's great. This part is dipped in, and I can feel a burning smoldering coming out of the top of the head, and then out of the back of the head. It feels like that Jim Carrey mask when he's like trying to split it off the back of his head. That's what's kind of happening back there. So I just kind of left those marks there so I can kind of discuss those findings. And let's see, body temperature. Let's talk about that. While this is happening, this is like everything's getting real hot, and it doesn't feel, it feels like a fever. That's what it feels like, but it doesn't feel like I'm weak. It doesn't feel like I'm getting headaches or chills or anything. It just feels like I'm just getting hot. That's it. So I wanted to, bring some attention to that. That's how you kind of can tell that it's happening. Sometimes you'll experience fire feet, and then sometimes it'll go away. But whenever the sun comes out, you should start just feeling hot in general. So, yeah. So you never really get too hot in the summer when you're doing this stuff. You're just like, oh, I love the sun. And everyone's like, beat the heat, stay inside, That's not what they're supposed to do. That's just all programming. They don't want you to do this. They don't want you to do this. All right, so dizziness, that's where you want to get to, because the Honey Honey song, if you wanted to know some more, it's going to make you dizzy. Let's see. Bottom of the pineal gland exposed. Yes. So when this happened to me, oh my gosh, I didn't explain further. When I turned my head this way, this thing stayed where it was at because this was free. And then it just said, and then this thing goes like it was like a gland. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And it felt really good. It felt like, not like anything I can explain. It was a high. I got high off of it, but it was a high like anything I've never experienced. Like it was just like a super high. And the cat in the hat thing, where I'm just like, ooh, oh my gosh, oh. I was feeling that for about 2 hours before I could like come out of that and kind of get my senses back. But I guess that is going to be my new senses. That is going to be my new, wow, unbelievable. So yeah, another thing, one more thing, is that when you're doing this, you're gonna think something's happening. Am I getting blood sugar issues? Because my feet, I'm getting stabbing needle pains in my feet. In the end, most of the pain, well, at this status point, I can't say in the end because I'm still going, but this right here is turning into electrical grounds. Because every time I get into the smoldering stage, these toes hurt like shit. Like they hurt real bad. These two big toes. And I feel like and I can't see anything, but I can feel it. It's like a spark. And I can tell that it's going to turn into electrical grounds. Those two big feet. And that is pretty much in general. That is pretty much in general what has happened to me so far. This is exposed. I can feel it. But over the night, as I kind of like sat around and chilled, and you breathe in the air and stuff like that, stuff they're spraying or whatever, it kind of comes back and calcifies a little bit. But that's the beauty about it, because today I'll be even further than this, because I can break through that easily. It's just one night of breathing in air, maybe eating something. I probably ate something, maybe a peanut butter sandwich or something. I think I did eat a peanut butter sandwich. Well, anyways, it calcifies a little bit because it's got phosphates. The peanut butter, fortunately, is a freshly ground from the store peanut butter, and it doesn't have salt in it. So that's a freaking real blessing. I love that. Non-salted peanut butter. It's hard to find, but if you can find it, good, more power to you. So, that is today's exploration of the pineal gland and the depths of breaking out in a way that maybe could not be expressed by some people, that are not experiencing this, but to the sun gazers out there, you can rest assured beyond belief that could have been spoon-fed to you that you are going to survive the 5G attack. You are aiming at breaking out into becoming a super being. What you are doing is guaranteeing that the low-end spectrum is something that you're going to have. You want to aim for the super being because you might not get the breakthrough. This shit takes a long time. I'm not going to lie to you. And it's fucking a lot of work and it fucking hurts. And I'm sun gazing. I got down 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. It's not something that everybody can do. A lot of people feel like, man, I can't get to a boat. I can't get into a plane ticket. I can't figure out how to get out of here. I don't think I'm going to make it. Go to the sun, man. Because you're just going to walk out of here. When things go to shit, you know how many yachts and boats are going to be sitting with the keys in the ignition? Just sitting there like on fucking zombie land. Like when they useless eater shit, if that shit happens the way that they're thinking that it's going to happen, and this 5G zombie virus shit happens, and they planned it, because if you look at the military specs, they've really planned it. It's really disgusting. But they say, oh no, that's just our depopulation program. Hey, little kitty. Yep, we have a kitty now. It's a little baby cat. And he attacks. I think I might have scared him though, when I really think about it. He's on my shoulder. Okay. All right, so, anywho, you're guaranteed to walk out of here if you aim to be the super being. If you sun gaze a bunch, you sun gaze like crazy, because you probably notice there's a lot of sparks in the air with your dust that you see floating in the air that's not normal. Through your window, you might notice, if you got your window open, that you're seeing dust particles float around, and then you're seeing these little sparks. Those are the nanoticks that they're spraying. I can see them. I don't know if anybody else can see them, but I can see them. And you're breathing those in every day. And you got to do something about it. You got to do something about it. Be the one that's going to save your family. Be the one that's going to walk out of here and say, look, they can't touch me. Stay close to me. Let's walk out of here. This is Grimnasty. Follow your fate. Go to the gate. Don't be afraid of what is at stake, because they want to make you a steak on a dinner plate. When you get awake, stay awake.